You and Trump are friends. I just talked to Ivanka last night about her experience at in the Miami event. She loves it. She's training too. You're talking about getting girls to train. She's training too.
And the kids are training, yeah. Her father's the biggest fucking fight fan on the planet. Calls me all the time to talk about the fights. And Don Jr. said that I'm like the only guy on earth that he bros out with. Like, you know, it's funny when you talk about how powerful fighting is, right? This last Miami event, the president of Ecuador and the president of Spain,
Wow,
both posted about the fights, right? Habib beat Connor. Putin was on FaceTime before he even made it to the locker room. Trump, sitting president, ex-president, watching all the fights, calling, wants to talk about the fights. Valentina Shevchenko, every time she goes home, she meets with the president of the country. The list goes on and on and on. The most powerful, Elon Musk, Zuckerberg. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. The most powerful people in the world are all obsessed with fighting.
When did you first discover that Trump loves fighting?
So I first discovered that Trump was a big fight fan. Obviously, you saw him part of all the big, you're talking about how big boxing fans we were. He was a part of all the big fights back then. But when we first bought the UFC, this thing was so bad, venues didn't even want us. And we ended up doing, our first event in Atlantic City at the Trump Taj Mahal. Now, think about this. At that time, Trump brand here, UFC brand. I mean, I can't go low enough. And he had us at his venue 2 times back to back, showed up for the first fight of the night and stayed till the last fight of the night. Then after that, any good thing that would ever happen to me in my career, Trump would reach out. Whether it was, we were on the front page of the New York Times at one time, and he said, "Congratulations, Dana. I always knew you guys were going to do it." Little things like that, but that are big things and mean a lot, especially coming from a guy like him.
So he saw something in you. Like, this is going to be
100%. He definitely saw it. And then comes 15, 16, whenever it was, I don't remember. But he called me and he said, "Listen, if you don't want to do this, I completely understand. But I would be honored if you would speak at the National Republican Convention for me." And I'm not a very political guy, you know what I mean? And everybody told me not to do it. Do not do this. But I was like, why would I not do this? This guy's been great to me, you know, and I did it. And our relationship is just like, you know what I mean? I consider Donald Trump to be one of my very, very good friends.
Any favorite stories?
I mean, there's so many stories. I mean, once he won the election, like, I'd be at work and I'd be down the hall, was in the matchmaking room, whatever, and my secretary would tell, "The president's on the phone." Fucking come running down the hallway and grab the phone, and he'd want to talk about the fight that was coming up, or the fight that happened. Or I'd be in my car and I'd answer the phone. It's like, "Hi, this is the White House. We have the president of the United States on the phone."
Yeah.
You know, that's a trip when that first starts happening. And then just to sum him up, this is the kind of guy that, you want to talk about a fighter? This is the most resilient human being I've ever met. If you see the shit that this guy's going through publicly every day, and I'll call him on the phone as a friend and be like, "Hey, you good? How you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
Unfazed. Like nothing's going on. And he'll start talking to me about this and that and all this other shit. One time. There's only been one time. I've never talked about this publicly, but one time I called him and he was not good. He was a mess. And I've never heard him like that. And I've never seen him like that when Ivana died. The only time I've ever seen him fucked up. Obviously, as soon as I heard it, I reached out, and I have never. Look at all the stuff that's gone on with Trump, all the bad stuff that they say. They're trying to attack him. They're trying to ruin him. Unfazed. I called him that day, and that's the first time I've ever seen that guy busted up and not good.
But that says something, that's the only time.
100%.
That guy is I mean, walking
He
through the
does not
fire.
get rattled. He will walk through fire. He's an absolute savage.
You think he wins the presidential election?
I don't know, man. It's going to depend on how this whole politics is the most dirtiest, scummiest thing on planet Earth, man. And who knows how this is all going to play out. It's all dirty, it's all ugly, and obviously I'm rooting for him and I'm behind him and I hope he does. But we'll see.
What's dirtier, the fighting game in the early days or politics?
There's nothing dirtier than politics. Nothing. There's literally nothing dirtier.
All right.
It is the dirtiest thing on
I
planet
just
Earth.
wanted to get that on record.